Module 33 Monoprint. Apparatus and materials: zinc, copper or acrylic block size 7 inches into 7 inches, scraper, metal file, sticker paper, printing inks or watercolor, inking knife, inking glass, paper for printing, cotton rags, kerosene for cleaning, printing machine, hand gloves, face mask, roller, brayer, woolen felt. Carefully choose one zinc, copper or acrylic block. Ensure that the block chosen is cut at right angles of 7 inches into 7 inches in size. The design to be printed has to be of the same dimension as the size of the block, that is 7 inches into 7 inches. Prepare several sketches to refine the design and select one for printing. Slope the edges of the entire block using a metal file. This technique is called beveling the block edges. A monoprint is essentially a painterly print made using a design which could be reused to create more prints. However, it should be known that no two monoprints can be similar even for the same design. The history of the printmaking technique of monoprints is slightly obscure as there are no specific recorded instances in the early stages of its development. One of the earliest artists who is known to have invented this technique was Dutch painter and printmaker Hercules Segers in 1589 to 1638. He used color in printing on unusual papers and linen using horizontal pomades to emphasize horizon. Now the smooth surface of the block is to be rubbed with a rough polished paper or small grained sandpaper evenly. Most of his images differed from the other and now some are preserved in few sheets. He also reworked on the prints by hand adding essence to them. Rembrandt was another artist who, in the span of 1609 to 1664, skillfully managed the variety of techniques to create a personalized and unpredictable but often dramatic output in his prints using dry point. He was also known to ink each time the same plate differently so as to create more tonal gradations and variations for effect to give painterly flourish to his work. Another artist who is credited to have practiced the technique of monoprint is Benedetto Castiglione in the time span as Rembrandt. He is known to have followed Rembrandt's style of light and shade manipulation by manipulating the ink to obtain rich dark areas. He is also the artist who devised a new technique in printmaking, which was by drawing images directly onto an unedged plate and then pulling unique impressions of it. He did this by drawing white lines with a stick, created tonal areas with his fingers, rugs, brushes, and then printed the plate using a press. His remarkable painterly effects of this day remain unchallenged. In spite of this, the technique remained unpopular among printmakers because it limited itself to just one print and was subjected to too many random accidents during or even after pulling the unpredictable print. William Blake, after nearly 150 years later, began experimenting with monotypes, monoprints, and became one of the most important artists to work in the medium. Either working with oil or egg tempera or a copper plate or using mill boards to pull prints on dampened paper, he often retouched the words with ink and watercolors. This was one of his closely guarded secrets, and some were even used as guides for overpainting in different media. The technique went dormant after Blake till 1860. It was revived by the young Impressionists for creating inking techniques. Edgar Degas got introduced to printed drawing by Ludovic Lappic, who enjoyed tonal wiping and devised retroussage, a technique of rinking wiped plates for richer tones. Degas used numerous ways in which he worked to wipe an odd color to the plates, using rags, brushes, fingers, pastels, creating numerous unparalleled works. Camille Pissarro and Paul Gauguin and many others got influenced by these works and began their own experiments in the techniques of Degas further. Gauguin created an independent technique called trace monotypes, which consisted of inking a sheet of paper, putting another fresh paper over it, and then drawing upon the back of the fresh paper. Paul Klee experimented and mastered this much later in his drawings. Some late 19th century artists used this very frequently. Maurice Prendergast, Ashler Williams, who used a large spoon to rub the back of the paper against the plate on the floor as he could not afford a press. Pierre Bonnard from France produced richly colored monotypes, pressing paper with hand or with a roller earlier inked and painted metal plates. A very thin layer of gum arabic is applied evenly. Pablo Picasso, Marc Chagall, Dubuffet, Henri Matisse, and many other contemporary artists produce hundreds of monotypes too. Prepare the chosen sketch using printing inks or oil color or watercolor as per the chosen and available materials. This is a printing process where the printmaker rarely worries about the technical aspects of the process and concentrates liberally upon the artistic and painterly creative embellishment techniques. Improvisation is the key to this process and hence it is a favorite of the artists turned printmakers. Over the years, plexiglass or glass or sheet metal has been used to etch upon instead of traditional metal plates. After the gum arabic layer dries completely, the design is painted over with transparent watercolors on the areas where gum is applied. For this module, we would be preparing the sketch by transparent watercolors. Prepare the sketch using the watercolor for the design portions. The pressure applied for the image to be transferred onto the paper varies and creates a different effect. The inks used also contribute to its uniqueness as in the way it is applied. Earlier, brushes, rags or rolled up rags, clothes brayers and rollers were also used. During this process, the thickness of the ink and the application of it, also the way in which it is spread and texturized, all these factors play a very important role in making that one single unique print. This could be replicated but in limited editions with variations. Monoprints are often made using a few simple techniques, namely additive, where something is manually added to the edge plate, and subtractive method where ink is removed from the plate and then printed. Sometimes certain areas of the plate are covered and then printed selectively in the subtractive method. In additive process, the thickness of the ink matters, as printing is often dense and tends to spread on a damp paper on pressure of the printing press. The monoprint was referred to by many names since yesteryears, and one would encounter names like Imitating Aquatint by Adam Bartsch, Edgar Degas and Paul Gauguin called them printed drawings. In 1880s, they were called the monotypes or monochromes. French Guvenet called them Bacheltypes. William H. Chandeli, who used glass surface to make monoprints, called them vitographs. In 1960, Henry Rasmussen, author of the book on monotypes, Printmaking with Monotype, emphasized that the artist preferred to call it monoprint rather than monotype to distinguish it from the commercial typesetting term. Much later in 1975, David Cahill, a print curator, suggested a difference between monoprint and monotype, suggesting that a monoprint is a unique image pulled from an engraved or etched plate. Another curator of prints, James Farmer, in 1978 said that a monoprint is a unique image where a part of the image is repeated on a fixed matrix and part is not. Jasper Johns. Artist Jasper Johns was born on 15th May 1930 at Georgia, USA, and was artist Jasper Johns has been a stalwart as far as contemporary art is concerned in the world. Along with some of his contemporaries, Robert Rauschenberg, John Cage, Merce Cunningham, he began to appropriate popular iconography in more ways than just in his artworks. Popular iconography included the American flag, targets, numbers, and letters, which turned the artist into a force to reckon with. The Museum of Modern Art, New York, purchased 3 of Johns' works in his solo in 1958. As his career developed, Johns added various tonal gradations to his work to bring in the element of depth to his works, like cross-hatchings, marks made by his body, the catenary curve motifs. These motifs constitute a very personal language which he has introduced over his entire body of works, be they paintings, sculptures, prints, and works which combine elements of each discipline. He brings in a kind of fragmentation of his work style which builds into a mottled whole when one happens to gaze upon it. Some of the monotypes, monoprints created by Jasper Johns from 1983 to 2015 employed the crosshatch patterns that first appeared in 1972 painting. He explored this further in drawing, painting, and various printmaking techniques, later which lead to the crosshatched monotype series. These were about 8 feet wide and each sheet was too large for a single plate, so Johns used plexiglass plates and printed them in sections. These papers were sent through the press multiple times. The result was an interlocking pattern that varies throughout the series. Another series were the catenary monotypes from 2001, which incorporated familiar subjects and motifs, along with another series in 2013 based on numbers. Johns often repeats an image in another medium to observe the play and interplay between the two, the medium and the image. At times, he is known to have created monotypes based on photographs which were taken by Larry Burroughs during the Vietnam War. Johns is very well known for his flag paintings in 1954 in New York City. This year was also pivotal in turning his attention and efforts towards printmaking, and he emerged then on as a printmaker on the path of experimentations and explorations. He says, "While working as a clerk in a bookstore, I folded a small piece of paper, made parallel cuts into it, then applied inks," John recalls, "and pressed it against another sheet of paper, leaving an impression on the ink. This would forever change the course of the artist's printmaking experiences and paths." This work was the smallest surviving monotype made by Johns. Johns returned on monotypes sporadically but compellingly, eventually completing more than 200 works. John Lunt works with Johns since 20-odd years now as a master printer at his Connecticut studio space. In 1960, Johns collaborated with Universal Limited Art Editions after being introduced to Tatiana Grossman, the founder. Art connoisseurs of those days were not too open to the idea of fine art prints, which were considered more replications. But Grossman was determined to change that perspective. Johns has been on Grossman's radar for a while for his works at MoMA, and she admired his guts to depict the way he did. Johns made lithography for ULAE of a coat hanger, a target, flag, and some other of his favorite motifs, including a numerals 0 and 9. This was a part of Numbers project in which he changed a single stone for each print, and the process took 3 years for completion. Johns was often referred to be a child genius in printmaking owing to the instant way he looked on the medium and mastered it. From pop art, minimalism, and conceptualism, all of these which Johns contributed to the art world, he moves ahead as the single most giant in the art world who has tried, mastered, and given back manifold to each field. John is known to have the ability to turn different essences of printmaking into the techniques of his work and also blend in the subject of his work. It is understood that printmakers have to think backward, as in they have to have the ability to imagine things in reverse and then unfold it forward. With John's works, the whole process is thematized into the work itself, as he is able to take and turn the process into a kind of meditation on all the ideas and those that are parts of the process. What is remarkable is that irrespective of the mediums, all his artworks are constant dialogues with each other. Johns is known to have mastered not only the aesthetics of it but also the techniques of printmaking, and that makes him stand apart, as he has a unique insight into the surface and principle of transparencies, for example, of the inks in printmaking. This is rarely understood by other printmakers. Monotypes, monoprints, are supposed to be immediate and intimate forms of printmaking, unlike other techniques like etching, where the block is created and it allows the printer to apply ink, maybe later, and produce multiples. But for a monoprint, the artist has to sit in one sitting and paint directly onto the smooth surface such as matrix or a plexiglass sheet. Then before the ink dries, the matrix is run through the press and image is transferred. It would be impossible to tell if they are prints or drawings, as it employs a rapid method of production. What worse, the matrix is destroyed in one or the two print sessions and the mystique of multiplicity is lost. Some of his works were mere accidents which occurred across multiple mediums, and as in his series Severine. John's motif of the Severine brand coffee can in large type across the label dates to 1960, when he made Painted Bronze, a life-size sculpture of the commonplace tin in which he often stored paintbrushes. In the 1970s, he returned to the image depicting the can against a backdrop of his crossheads field of short diagonal lines that are another frequent mind John's concept or a lithograph. He has a habit of employing non-traditional materials, and for one plate, he used an island cookie to make his marks. He has on several occasions turned lithographs into monoprints or monoprints using plexiglass, working directly over the original matrix while experimenting or playing with differences in accent, refinement, accent, and other variations. Each experiment then gave some of the rarest and best prints of repertoire. John says, They may invite a playfulness or a light touch with the materials. While talking about his monotypes monoprint works, John finds it difficult to articulate exactly how he makes his choices. Monoprints sometimes come as afterthoughts following some project. He says, I suppose that each medium or technique offers an appeal of its own. One jumps in and it lucky finds way to proceed. Don Cage, Robert Rauschenberg, Mills Cunningham, and Johns formed the most creative quartet of the 20th century. They together and individually changed the face of the art world. Today, Johns is the only surviving member of his brilliant quartet, and he continues to innovate in the 21st century. Among his recent works, the new prints built upon the Regret series in not really a linear fashion. The works were started in 2012 and experimented upon with an old photograph of the British figurative painter Lucian Freud, commissioned by Francis Bacon. Johns had made a similar attempt at the Regrets series earlier on a similar subject, but was not satisfactorily to the artist and hence kept away. The paper to be used for printing is suitably dampened 10 minutes before the actual printing. Excess water is removed by blotting and the paper is kept ready in a damp state till printing is done. In spite of the discontents at the stark differences in the two attempts, he finally found solace in monoprints of the same subject. Using Mylar as a matrix instead of plexiglass, applying ink and watercolor and allowing it to dry, he then used dampened paper and pressed it to the Mylar to reawaken the colors. About his process, he said, I don't believe there is a separation. Often, even usually, the various ways of working blend and become to varying degrees unconscious. True to form, he says, of making a monotype. At its simplest, it is as easy as leaving a fingerprint. Jasper Johns lives in Sharon, Connecticut. Take the final monoprint on the ready damp paper. A final registration is made on the machine. Health and safety precaution. 1. Do not eat or drink close to work area to prevent accidental ingestion. 2. Familiarize yourself with substances that are hazardous. 3. Clean hands thoroughly after working using baby oil, soap and water or a non-toxic hand cleaner. 4. Keep work area clean and organized. 5. Ask your doctor if you are taking medication or are pregnant about what precautions you should be taking. 6. Identify locations of fire extinguishers, first aid box and eye wash stations. Ask your professor if need be. 7. Notify your professor about any health condition or medication that may affect you in the classroom. 8. Store concentrated nitric acid and potassium chloride separately from other chemicals. Whenever possible, use diluted acid. 9. Acid etching should be done with local exhaust ventilation. 10. An important safety rule when diluting concentrated acid is to add the acid to the water, never the reverse. Write all the details like date and signature on the print.